Land, history, and culture. 1,000 years ago, what land were you on? If the answer is, well, not you, but your ancestors, where were they at 1,000 years ago? If the answer is Africa, then you're in Africa. History. What is your lineage? Where does your bloodline derive? Going back thousands of years. The answer is Africa, then you're in Africa. Culture.
Okay.
Do you call candy yams yams? Do you dance? Do you use the habitual B? You know what I'm saying? Do you do the leg?
I have a question, right? So, if a white person is born in Africa, they're not African, right? That's what you're telling me?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
what makes a person African? Is it their genes? If it's their genes, what do we say for mixed race people, right? Because we do know that they exist. Are they African as well? How mixed do you have to be African? That's a genuine question.
All right. So again, land, history, culture. Back again. Peace and Pan-Africanism. Peace and power to the descendants of my ancient mother. My name is Brother Legend. Back once again to talk to my brothers and sisters. Hoping everybody's been well. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can go to my TikTok page, BIGBROLGND, and you will find a notification bell. Tap on that to be notified when we go live. But yeah, here to raise your consciousness as always. Like, share, subscribe. Let the algorithm know you're getting some value from the live. Welcome in. Bring a friend. Y'all know who this is behind me? Do y'all know who this is behind me? Let me know if y'all know who this is behind me. If y'all know what this is about right here. Let me know if y'all know who this is behind me. Y'all might know. Let me know if y'all know who that is. Who we got behind me? Oh, Timothy, no. You can tell by his eyes, right? Like this guy had she's like trying to, and he's like, yeah. Like his eyes are stone cold. Like I heard they did get a divorce. They didn't stay together, but I think she gave birth. I know that kid's head is messed up. Can you imagine being a child of the first interracial marriage, like legally recognized in America? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like post Jim Crow, you're the first child of an interracial marriage. That is wild. That is wild. I could imagine what that was like growing up for that child, man. Anyway, for those of y'all that don't know, the people behind me are the two, I think were they defendants? I don't know. They're the couple from the Loving versus Virginia court case that basically codified into law, making interracial marriage legal, even in the South. Who feels like interracial marriage and interracial relationships has been a benefit to the Black community? Does interracial relationships benefit the Black community? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. This is a topic anyone can talk about. We can all talk about this. Do interracial relationships benefit the Black community? Does it help us? Does it hurt us? I did not know I had this set to this. Hold on, I'm bringing it back. Does it help us? Does it hurt us? Let us know. What do you think? Do interracial relationships hurt the Black community? Does it help us? Some of y'all are going to say it helps us. I want to know, if so, how? What are your thoughts? I'm white with biracial children and grandchildren. So what? Does it help the black community or does it hurt us? Let's talk about it. This is a topic for anybody. I don't know why we're telling people that we're white. What is the point of that? What does that have to do with anything? Timothy, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on, family? My bad. I was sharing the live.
Oh, okay. All right, now you're good. It is a useless fact in this conversation. You don't have to be sorry. Don't be sorry. Be careful. Nah, you good. Ain't nothing to feel sorry about. It just didn't help at all. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're talking about the best way to make a cheeseburger, and you're like, I drive a Cadillac. It's like, okay. What's
Yeah,
that got to do with anything?
yeah. There's nothing wrong with sharing information, but yeah, just like how Brother Legend said, at least let's steer the conversation towards answering the question.
Yeah, so the question, y'all, is does interracial relationships benefit the black community? Do interracial relationships benefit the black community? That's the question. Let me know what you think. I would bring up a prompt, but every time I bring up a prompt, something happens. So I'm just going to see yes or no. Do interracial relationships benefit the black community? Or does it harm the black community? Are interrelationships harmful to black unity? Is it harmful to black progress? Does it impede our progress? Does it speed up our progress? What is our goal? What is our goal? How do black relationships benefit the black community? You are not the host, but I will answer that question. By building a black community, there'd be no black community without black relationships. So that's your answer. I think that's the most basic, simple way to build a community across the globe for all of mankind's history. It has taken a man from that community, a woman from that community, to make a child from that community in order to build that community. Like, you don't have to ask these questions about any other community. I think that's a very basic, simple thing to understand. Thank you, Chanel. Appreciate you, Queen.
And
It
not even
harms
to
our community. I could tell
yeah,
by the way Fat Baby said that they are of melanated descent, African descent rather, melanated person. So
I was going to say that
yeah.
the origins of all of human civilization began because black men and black women because black men and black women were together. Like, so,
Mhm.
I mean, it actually, technically speaking, benefits the entirety of human beings as a whole. If you
Mm.
really want to go deep into it.
If you really want to go deep, we could talk about it. It depends. The children always identify as black, not white. The parents don't benefit though. So it depends. Everyone that's coming in, we're asking, do interracial relationships benefit the black community? If you say yes or no and you want to come up, you can. You're just going to have to explain to us why. Um, it depends. I don't think it depends at all. I think no, that might be a little bit of a cop out. Do interracial relationships benefit the black community? Let us know. Don, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
Yeah.
Okay, talk to us.
Um, me personally, no, I don't think so. If we want to compare the variances, at the end of the day, um, when we have these conversations, we're talking, we pinpoint the parts where it's definitely detrimental to us. The anti-blackness, the tokenization, the fetishization, from a financial standpoint, if if a white man marries a black woman, where does that, at the end of the day, or if a black woman marries a white man, where does that money go at the end of the day?
Mm.
Like, does it go back to the black community? Who is it supporting? And then we have the children who, have these identity crises that be literally come back to the Black community accepting that, proximity and become a threat and are weaponized against us. Like I've experienced literally, I've seen, some, not all, but some that their parents taught them specifically, you know what I'm saying, to use them as a weapon against Black people. And some of their ideologies and talking points are detriment to the community if they haven't fully identified with who they are.
Yeah, we've seen that too. We've seen that too. We've seen that right here on this live. The role of the frosted female in the context of white supremacy is to convince all others that they don't have to have an allegiance to their community. Specifically with Black men, she convinces you that because she's not like other white people, that good white people exist. And then when it's time to go to the cookout, you're trying to bring them along and say, hey, man, it's not fair. We're not bringing everyone. There's good people on that side. And when it comes to her children with a Black man, she tries to tell the child that you're not Black, you're biracial, you're half and half. You have no allegiance to the Black community. You have allegiance to both communities. Like, that's their way of putting it. Once again, compromising the child, compromising the man. She even compromises the woman by saying, hey, we're both sisters, we're both women, we both get it. You don't have an allegiance to Black men. Black women matter, not Black men. We're all women together. So yeah, that's, then they use our women for numbers to vote for whoever they want them to vote for, then turn around and leave them in the dust. We've seen that happen multiple times. So that's the thing. What's going on, Ahmed? Give us your. Oh, y'all about to start this bullshit? No. Come on now. We're not doing that. We not doing that on my live. All right. Go ask Egypt and Saudi Arabia for money. They got plenty of anti-Blackness in their community. They got stolen resources from Africa. Go get some from them. Nanny Travels, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
My age is 46. Half Black, half Dominican, and my pronouns is a woman.
All right.
I don't do that.
Ain't no such thing as half Black, sister. Why you say you half Black, half Dominican? Dominican's a nationality.
Because I try to be respectful because I was born in America. So
No matter where you born at.
I consider myself an American Dominican because my family is from there, but I was born there. But anyways, that's all besides the point. I want to get on this interracial thing. My husband is white, and I've been with him for almost 20 years, and he has built. When we lived in Las Vegas, we were the only female Black-owned wig store for the community. There's a lot of white people that are real true allies and don't use Black, white, race, this and that. My kids don't fall between mixed or anything like that. They know who they are on every side.
You don't even know. You said you was half Black, half Dominican.
We don't. That's as far as for what does me being Dominican have to do with anything?
Because you don't even know. You said your children know they Black, but you said you half Black, half Dominican.
Yes, I am. I am because my father.
Ain't no such thing as.
My father's father came from Santo Domingo, and my father's mother came from the United States. So yes, I do. I give mad respect to everybody. Don't tell me what I have to be or what I don't have to be.
Are they indigenous to that land?
Interracial marriage. Not all white people are the way you guys are saying. Because my husband has dealt.
All right, calm down. Let's calm down. All right. Before you bring up your massa again, trying to explain to us some more. Let's just take it one line at a time. So you said coming in here that you was half black, half Dominican. The reason that's wrong is because we didn't ask your nationality, we asked your race. So your race is black. You can be from Mars and be black. You can be from any country on Earth and be black. You understand? Because black is your relation to a land, history, and culture going back thousands of years to the continent of Africa, and also the phenotype and color of your skin. So that's what that is. If you are of a Dominican origin, if you have a mother from the Dominican Republic and you're a black woman, then you're a black woman. You might have mixed ethnicity, you know, you might have an African American background and a Dominican background, but that doesn't mean. Listen, man, you're doing too much on my screen, man. I don't even know what you ain't even said nothing yet. You ain't gonna be up here. But yeah, so do you understand what I'm trying to get explained to you?
Y'all rude. I'm gone. Y'all rude.
All right. All right. Bye bye. Okay. He was helping. I don't know what he was doing. I don't think he was helping. I don't know what's going on today. We getting some weirdos up here. Leisha, you invite these people up here. I don't know what's going on today. Yo,
Hey, sorry.
race, nationality, and ethnicity. Y'all need to learn, and it's just weird because y'all just it's so easy to just learn the difference between race, nationality, and ethnicity. You know, Dominican you can look at as an ethnicity, you can look at it as a nationality. It is not a race. The only people that believe Dominican is a race are Dominican people that don't like Haitians. Like that's really it. That's the only place where it's a race because they don't want to be the same as the Haitians. Um,
Hi. Sure. I'm going to be 2 minutes and I agree with you. Sorry for jumping in, for cutting you off. I'm black because the world knows me as black, but I'm Bantu. So I'm African. And I love what you're saying, my brother. What you just said, I cannot say I'm black and I'm South African. I'm black South African. No, I cannot say that. I'm black.
I'm half
End of the
black,
day.
half South African.
It ends there. It ends there. So if people want to play this game, I'm black and Dominican and stuff, it's on them. I cannot choose for them what they want to be. So I know I'm black. I know I'm Bantu. I know I'm African. So I heard you talking about the mixed race thing, ne? So I'm from South Africa, and you know we have white people who are South African nationality, white people who are South African nationality. I'm against that. Why am I against that? Because I'm in South Africa. What I see is they assimilate to whiteness rather than black people. Like if I'm a black person, I'm married to a white person, I have to assimilate to their culture as a white person. But
Mhm.
they don't assimilate to my black culture. So
No.
that's why I see it. So I'm against that. So if you say because people say love has no color, there's no color. I mean, what love is love. What if love is like that? Why can't a white person, as a bare minimum, learn my culture, learn my language, bare minimum? And language is nothing else because let's say I'm Zulu. I'm married to a white person. Why can't that white person, as a bare minimum, learn Zulu? In South Africa, they don't learn Zulu. They don't care about Zulu. All they care about, I'm going to wear appropriate Zulu culture and wear Zulu stuff and say, so I'm against it. So
Mm.
if it's like if a white person has to marry me and I'm against it, don't get me wrong, but they have to assimilate to my culture. Let alone I'm a man or something. Even if it's a woman, they have to assimilate to my culture. They have to learn my culture. Just think about it. Right here in Africa, I'm from South Africa. Right here in Africa, they don't care about African culture. And we should go around saying, oh, we love each other, kumbaya. We all married to each other. We all get married to each other. But if you love me that much, let's say someone loves me, they should understand my traditions, my culture. They should just learn about my. So if every time I learn about their culture, I learn about their tradition, they don't care about my own tradition, is that love? That's not love. So why should I marry that person who doesn't care about my traditions or my culture? But anyway, I just wanted to say I love what you're saying and I support it, and I'll be out. Sorry for if I cut you off. Sorry, I talked too much. Sorry.
Okay, appreciate you, brother. Shout out to all my Black South Africans, man. We love y'all. Aman La Wetu. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but you know what it means. Power to the people. We have the power. And hopefully y'all get Malema. Hopefully y'all get Malema in 2024. We wishing the best for y'all. Shout out to Senegal, man. Shout out to Senegal. The president of Senegal looking real fly right now. We gonna see, man, because he's talking about collaborating with France. I mean, he's saying he's kicking France out of this country. He wants to create their own dollar and no longer use the franc. That's all beautiful. But in his speech, he keeps saying, like, we'll be open to collaboration after we get our ish together. And I'm just like, yo, honestly, you might just want to just not do that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, he a fly young brother, president of Senegal. You think he's just saying that? Okay, Don. Cause I'm like, I think he's just saying that too. I'm hoping he's just saying that. Cause I seen that that talk he was talking about. I'm like, wait, hold on, nah, you should just be kicking them out. Why you trying to? Yeah, we'll do collaborate. I think he's just saying that too, because it don't make sense how you kicking someone out and telling them to come back at a later date at the same time. Like, you're gonna have to kick them out with a little bit of force. You're gonna, even if it's economic force. He's trying to ease the blows. I know, but that's a little bit of I don't know. I hear what you're saying. I know. Some of us a little bit scared to he just getting into power, so maybe he just a little scared. It's okay to make them uncomfortable. That's the first thing a slave do is think about how to make master uncomfortable when he wants his freedom. You know, could I just go out, you know, nights and weekends, master? Could I please, you know what I'm saying? But honestly, I like where he's going with it. You know what I'm saying? He's young, so I feel like we can hold him more accountable to, you know, steering him in the right direction for our generation. So, you know, he's a millennial technically. I heard he was like the second millennial president because we got Ibrahim. So, and I heard he wants to work together with the AES, but I also heard he wants to work with ECOWAS. So, I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? He's better than Senegal had, though. The guy Senegal had before, of course. So we still celebrating Senegal, man. Peace to all my brothers and sisters in Senegal, man. Sheikh Anta Diop is the man. So we already know that, man. Peace to all the brothers and sisters in the country of Senegal. You know what I'm saying? The Fulani brothers and sisters that are not tribalists, not the tribalist ones, not the tribalism nationalist ones, but to the brothers and sisters of Senegal, mad love for y'all. Jazzy, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
Hi, my age is 30. My pronouns is she, her.
Okay. Your race is?
Black,
All
African.
right.
I'm
Talk to us,
African.
Queen.
So are we answering the question or are we talking about the brother in Senegal?
Hey, let's answer the question. Yeah, I forgot about those questions. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, they're harmful. They're definitely harmful. I mean, it's dangerous. I mean, every place in the world has a color caste system because of colonization. Whether you talk about the Dominican Republic, Haiti, and it all started all started with the Portuguese too. It started with the Arabs actually, because all their offspring did what they did during the trans-Saharan slave trade. And then you can talk about the transatlantic. The foundation was literally the Portuguese having a color caste system in all their colonies, and Senegambia,
Your reception is breaking up, sister.
in Angola, in Mauritania, in Mozambique, and
Yeah, we know.
so Portuguese, the foundation of Portuguese raping women, they use that as
Oh, please.
a tool,
Be careful
rape,
with that.
in their dungeons.
Sister, can you hear me?
They
Sister?
made dungeons.
Sister? All right, we're going to have to mute you, sister. Please, sister. You can't say that R word you using. You can't say that on TikTok. You can say essay. You can say grape, like a fruit, a grape. But you can't say that word. Okay, you gotta be careful with words you say. No violent language, please. All right. I think her reception going in and out.
Hello.
Yeah, I don't think she can hear you, King.
Okay. Sister, come back up. Your reception is going in and out. She's still talking. That's crazy. Yo, that's crazy. Her reception. Y'all still hear her? Can y'all still hear her?
Yeah, we can still hear her.
That's wild. She's not even up here no more.
She got hacker mods, whatever. How
All
you
right,
doing, boss?
give us your age, race, and pronouns. The
24
double.
years old. I use he, him, and I'm African American.
All right, talk to us.
I don't think interracial relationships are harmful to the Black community. I think that diversity can be a good thing. Racial preference a fetish? Is racial preference a fetish? No, I don't think we can choose what we find to be sexually attractive. It depends on what your definition of fetish, and I don't see anything wrong with it being a fetish. Can non-Black people be pro-Black? Sure. Can Black and white culture ... Okay. Yeah. Do you have anything against what I said about the topics that you had at the top?
That's a weird way of asking that question. Do I have anything against what you said?
Against, for? Do you have any comments? Because I don't really have anything. I actually date outside my race right now. My girlfriend's Colombian, so.
That's a nationality.
National? Sure, you can say. So it would be Latina, right?
That's an ethnicity.
That is an ethnicity,
So
yeah.
what is the race of a person that lives in South America that is like, I'm just looking like at job applications, right? They will have race, white, Black, Latino, Afro Latino, whatever. But like, what are you referring to as race?
Does she have?
She white,
Huh?
Black Latina. Is she
No, she's not. She's not Afro. She's not Afro Latino.
Colombia?
She's not Afro Latino. She's like light skin, caramel skin toned,
She's like biracial.
Toned.
Yeah. Sure. I didn't really look at it. Yeah, sure.
All right, Jazzy, please stop interrupting. Let me address this. All right, so if she's indigenous, if she's from a certain tribe in Colombia, then
I
she's
wouldn't know
indigenous.
that. I haven't asked.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? It sounds like you don't know. So let's not assume what she is. But there's indigenous, there's white, there's Black, there's Asian, and pretty much that's it. Some people, try to make room for Southeast Asian. You could call them brown, but yeah. So yeah.
Yeah,
Those, those, those are the races.
is me dating her a problem?
You tell me.
No.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So what is the purpose of the live? Is it to spread awareness? Is it to what's the
The purpose of the live is to get people to think critically about racial dynamics and how it affects the community as a whole and not individuals. So, we're thinking beyond just ourselves, but how our community should be progressing in such a way that it empowers Black people. Is it harmful to the objective of trying to empower the African diaspora for us to um, find and create bonds with people outside of our community? Um, when historically has that worked for us? Thinking critically, asking the why question about more than just ourselves and how good someone makes us feel.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you can call me pro-black, and I support the black community.
Okay, in what ways are you pro-Black?
I mean, like I vote for laws that positively affect minorities.
That's not pro-Black.
So if I vote against laws that positively affect the negative, if I vote for laws that negatively affect minorities, would I still be pro-black or would I be anti-black?
Voting doesn't make you pro-Black or any, like, it's just not a pro-Black. That's like saying, am I pro-Jewish if I eat a bagel?
I mean, like, do you think that voting has any influence at all?
Not on pro-Blackness.
I mean, yeah, if someone's voting a law that's saying, hey, we're going to, I don't know, do X, Y, or Z to affirmative action, I would say so, but, we can agree to disagree. What do,
Brother Legend. Sorry, can I ask him what does he feel about the diaspora, let alone America and stuff? Can I ask him what does he feel about the diaspora?
I
He's
guarantee you
pro-black.
he
He
doesn't
says,
know what the diaspora is. He didn't. He thought Colombian was a race when he came up here. But go ahead.
yeah, I wouldn't know what that is, right? Because I focus on accounting, so I don't really spend my life focusing on Black history like that.
Right, but yet you said you were pro-Black and you don't know Black history.
So how can a Black person be? I don't think I've done anything that's anti-Black. Um,
It's interesting because Europeans tend to think in dichotomies, which once again is anti-black. Thinking in dichotomies means if something is not pro, it must be anti. Something can just be not
so
pro-black.
you could just be. So what do you mean? Because I don't think you're defining your terms. Yeah, what do you mean by pro-Black? Because you're
okay,
saying what you
when
have to
now
say.
what do you mean when you say you pro-black? Because you don't know anything about the diaspora. So you tell us what does it mean to be pro-black
Well,
before you ask the host.
you do
Before
realize
you
that
ask the host,
you
before
do
you ask the
you do
host,
realize that words are
before you ask the
constructed.
host, sorry,
I'll let you
before
finish.
you ask the host, what does it mean for you to be pro-black? I'm not fighting you. I'm asking what does it mean for you to be pro-black? Before you ask the host will tell
Yeah. So
you.
what I think what it
So
means
you
to be
don't care about
pro-Black.
the diaspora. You know,
Okay, can I
and you
speak?
don't know.
Can I speak,
You
dude?
don't know anything. No, let me finish my question first. You don't know
Okay, go
anything
ahead.
about the diaspora, so I'm assuming you don't care about the diaspora. So for you, what does it mean to be pro-black? Is it only because where you are, your nationality, and you're going to vote for pro-black things? I don't know. So what does it mean for you to be pro-black? When you say I'm pro-black and you don't care about the diaspora, what does it mean? I'm sorry, host, for taking over. I'm sorry.
You're saying the same thing over and over again. Let me go ahead, dude. Thank you very much, Dato. Like when someone says pro-black, like, hey, do you support the rights of Black people? Yeah, I support the rights of Black people. Do you support
That's
you
not
know?
pro-black.
Well, how about you actually come up with a definition instead of just
No,
saying a
no.
word and not
Okay, so
defining
so
it?
your
Because you're
definition.
laughing, but you're not defining it. Like,
All right, all
haha.
right. Yeah, we don't want to give them learned helplessness. Basically, pro-black is prioritizing one's actions and values with what's in the best interest of building within the black community.
Oh, so being like a collectivist type stuff. No, I'm not a collectivist. So you would definitely not call me a pro-black person.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
So
agree.
like, yeah, I think that's all that you have to say. Like, no, I would not fall under that definition.
You're an individualist.
Yeah, I live my life, living for other
For
people in my
yourself.
past, and I realized it just wasn't for me.
Right. And that's Eurocentric. So that would make you closer on the side of white supremacy than pro-black.
I mean, you can say that. If I don't know if that's a true dichotomy,
It is.
because you said that a person can be, not pro black, but it doesn't mean that they're anti-black. Like I said before,
But
I wouldn't fall in that line.
individualism is a Eurocentric ideal. So that's something where they
So
tell you to think only about yourself. That's why they love capitalism, because capitalism and individualism, man, whew, what a match made in heaven. All you gotta do is
yeah,
think about
are you
yourself.
saying that? Are you saying that white people made individualism, or individualism preceded white people?
I'm not going to go to who made it. I don't have to go that far. But I can say that
Uh huh.
individualism as a core value in society is Eurocentric.
So the problem is, if you're going to say it's Eurocentric, you're saying that it comes from white people, and the problem that I'm coming across is if you're going to say
As I said, as a core value. Don't minimize what I'm
you
saying.
said it's a core value.
Yes, as
Okay,
a
so
community
if it's a core
value.
value, it doesn't matter who owns it, right? It's kind of like It's kind of like separate from the people that actually, made it
It's
mainstream.
Eurocentric.
Yeah.
Because
So I don't see how. So if you're going to say that, white people didn't create, individualism, but then you're going to say that, I'm joining siding with the white supremacy because it's a core
it's a white
value of them.
supremacist concept. Yeah, individualism. Only think about yourself.
Am I also a white supremacist because I breathe air like white people as well? I just don't understand how you're connecting that, and then
No,
there's
no. Breathing air is something we all do. But because I mean,
same thing as being an
the
individual.
first people to breathe air were Africans. So I guess breathing air would make you more on the pro-black side, if anything. But
I
no,
like you, dude.
yeah.
That's good.
So what your value system is, though. You said you are American, correct?
I'm African American, yes.
Right. So your value system was given to you by Europeans that enslaved your ancestors, and you embrace that value system. Whereas pro-blackness is about rejecting that value system and retaining Africanity. So that's why I say you're more on the sides of white supremacy. I don't mean that in a negative way to say that you are a white supremacist, because we all know that's not possible. But you do embrace their ideals like individualism.
Do you think that white people can be African?
No,
No,
Okay, so don't white people come from? Doesn't all life come from Africa?
no,
no.
So all life does not come from Africa.
no. Others said all white come from Africa.
No, no, no. Life.
Um, not all life, but
Like human life, human life. Do you think human life
um,
comes from Africa?
it's
No,
interesting. It's interesting that you say that. You go back 300,000 years to prove a point,
No, I'm asking you, does human life come from Africa?
but you're going back 300,000 years. We don't have to go back that
But
far.
you know where I'm
I mean,
going with this, man. Why are you not engaging?
if you can go
no.
back
I'm an African.
300,000
I
You
can
are
years.
say
not
no.
engaging.
Wait, hold on, Thato. If you can go back 300,000 years, why not go back 6 billion? Don't we all come from dinosaur poop? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why? If you can go, let's go back further than that. Let's go back like a billion. Don't we all come from a speck of dust that one day exploded into a star system? Like,
I could ask that same question about why should we value, African culture in the way that you're describing it, and you're going to point to like our African heritage, but I'm like, okay, you're just
no, but
choosing
no.
one
What I'm
point in
saying
time
is
over
you're being
another.
disingenuous and trying to dilute the conversation back to 300,000 years to when humanity first became a thing. Like now
So
this is the part of the
the point that
conversation
I'm
where
trying to get at is
instead of
white
trying
people can
to
be
speak
born
to
in
what I'm
Africa
talking
and called
about,
African as
you're
well.
trying to add something new to the mix to dilute it down to everyone on earth is an African because we all came from Africa 300,000 years ago. Like, stop it, bruh. Like, come on now. We know that since then, continents have had inhabitants that have become indigenous to that land, have adapted to that region physically and even in their ethics, their cultures, their customs. Some of them think that the winter is good. Some of them stay away from the cold and worship the sun. So it depends on where you're from, where your ancestors have been for 100,000 years.
So I have a
What?
serious question
Like,
for you.
come on
Why
now.
should I allow other people to dictate how I live my life?
You shouldn't. If that's how you feel, no one's saying that you should. We're just saying
Okay.
that you're not pro-black.
Okay. And if I have a different definition of pro-black that I could
No,
propose,
you
would you
can't
listen to it?
redefine something you're not. That's like me trying to say I have a different definition of vegan. I eat bacon sometimes.
Well, the definition of pro-black, like definitions change over time depending on how we use
Not
it.
pro-black.
That's just true.
Pro-black doesn't change until pro-black doesn't change until black oppression does, and it
No,
hasn't changed.
I'm saying that. Do you believe that words change as like time?
Pro-black doesn't change until
No, no,
black
no. That
oppression
wasn't a
does.
question. It was
As
words.
long as black oppression is the same, don't dilute the conversation to other meanings and other words. As we're talking about pro-black, as long as black oppression remains the same, pro-black will mean the same thing.
Okay. Do you have any other questions for me?
Oh no, I didn't have any questions for you.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So tell me more about what it means to be
I
pro-black.
do think you explore more into the history behind it. I think you also need to explore more into the psychology of it. You strike me as the type of person that more than likely isn't going to listen to any book recommendation. So, to the people
Oh no, I
listening in,
won't. I won't for sure. But
all right, well, to the people listening in, Post Traumatic Slave Syndrome by Dr. Joy DeGruy is a must read because it'll help you to unpack this type of mentality that we're seeing displayed right here. Because that's a dangerous mentality, trying to basically move the goalpost, dabble into every other conversation point
which
to try
goalpost
and
did I move?
prove some
Wait,
kind of
hold
a
on.
point that
Name
literally
specifically
holds
the
no
goalpost
value
that
Wait,
I
hold on,
moved.
hold
whatsoever.
on, hold on. Let him talk. Go ahead, Timothy.
No, no.
Yeah.
Name specifically what
So
goalpost I moved.
trying to
'Cause I
move the
can.
goalpost and then trying to devalue the conversation that is being talked about when we literally know when you know all of the history behind how people groups migrate, how evolution has
You
happened,
didn't name the
how the
goalpost.
adaptation of human genetics had to adapt in order to live in these spaces, you will realize that these other people groups have effectively, because of how long they've stayed in those regions, their genetics has mutated so much so, and they also have intermixed with other hominids, other species that pre-existed modern human beings, modern Homo sapiens. They have intermixed with those species so much so that their genetics have mutated so much so that they effectively have removed the origins of where their people groups come from. So obviously, at one point in time, all of human beings came from Africa, but when you live outside of the African spaces for so long, your genetics literally mutate and change to be indigenous essentially to those lands. And
Yeah.
yeah, so it's important to unpack the psychology behind all that. So Post Traumatic Slave Syndrome by Dr. Joy DeGruy, highly recommended, so we can get out of that type of mentality.
I'm also gonna
Yeah, it's
throw in
crazy.
there.
You couldn't name one goalpost that I moved. That's crazy.
I also want to add in the book Destruction of Black Civilization, since we want to speak on origins, by Chancellor Williams. That is a great um, reference. This book goes deeply into all of African civilization and how we were dismantled. And then you will learn about the sub-Saharan slave trade, the Asiatic slave trade, the Arab slave trade, and the transatlantic slave trade, how we got here today. So that's Destruction of the Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams.
Right. Absolutely.
Sorry, and taking by that logic, we all enslaved each other, so we should just move on because we all Africans. African Americans didn't enslave each other like white people enslaved each other. That's the logic I'm hearing now because we all from Africa. So slavery and stuff, it's meaningless because we all enslaved each other. That's the logic I'm hearing. Sorry.
Well, I refute that logic. I don't know.
Yeah, me too.
So
And
Yeah.
I'm going to be clear. Sorry. I'm going to be clear. White people are not Africans. White people are not Bantu. White people are not black. white people are not African.
So what makes a person African? Is it being born in Africa, or is it just your skin
No,
pigmentation while
no,
being born in
no.
Africa?
It's
Definition of
in you.
Africa?
It's in you. It's in you.
Like if
The
I'm
host here,
American,
it's
right?
in him.
I'm
Africa,
born
it's
in
in him.
America,
He
right?
was born
America's
in he was
diverse.
born in America. The host here, he was born in America, but he's still African. It's in
Yeah.
him. If you
So
don't know
like
it, it's in him.
this is actually
That's
a
all.
genuine question though, because I'm actually kind of curious.
I'm answering.
What
I'm answering a
so if a
genuine
white person
question with a
born
genuine answer.
if a white
I'm
person was
answering
born
a
in
genuine
Africa,
question. I'm answering a
sure,
genuine question
can
with
you
a
let me finish,
genuine
please?
answer. The host was born in America. He's still African. It's in
Mhm.
him. If you don't know it, it's on you. I don't know how to explain it, but okay, let me ask the host. Host, are you African?
Yes.
Thank you.
So the way to explain it, or I have before, might fly over your head, but I'm gonna try it anyway. The thing that all Africans have in common is three things: land, history, and culture, going back thousands of years, not hundreds, thousands. This is true for other races as well: Asian people, Europeans, those indigenous to other lands. Um, Land, history, and culture. 1,000 years ago, what land were you on? If the answer is, well, not you, but your ancestors, where were they at 1,000 years ago? If the answer is Africa, then you're an African. History. What is your lineage? Where does your bloodline derive? Going back thousands of years. The answer
So
is Africa, then you're an African.
okay.
Culture. Do you call candy yams yams? Do you dance? Do you use the habitual B? You know what I'm saying? Do you do the stiff
So
leg?
I have a question, right? So if a white person is born in Africa, they're not African, right? That's what you tell me.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
what makes a person African? Is it, their genes? If it's their genes, what do we say for mixed race people, right? Because we do know that they exist. Are they African as well? How mixed do you have to be African? That's a genuine question.
All right. So again, land, history, culture. Listen carefully because I don't think you're listening. You're asking faster than you listen. Land, where was their parents, their grandparents, 1,000 years ago? What land were they on? If the answer is Africa, they're African. History is like your bloodline, your lineage, your heritage. 1,000 years ago, would your great 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 10 times grandmother be in Africa? Is she an African woman? Then okay, you're an African. And then your culture. And that's the part that a lot of biracial people miss because, yes, they can have a black father, a white mom, or a white dad and a black mother. But if they don't have that culture, if there's something wrong with that culture, if they're not participating in that culture, if they feel excluded from that culture, then unfortunately they don't make the cut. And if when we ask them their race, they say, "I'm not black, I'm biracial." Then they're not black.
So, so I do have a question as well. If because there are tons of like Afro Latinos, right? Or that spent centuries, living in a different continent and things like that. Um, can you be black but not African? I think you just answered the question saying, yeah, you can. You can have black in you but not be African. Um,
No, I didn't.
yeah, you said that. You said that, if you're mixed,
Not what he
right,
said.
and you don't have that heritage in you, like a white
You know,
mother,
if you
a
don't
black
have,
father.
if you don't have, you can have the phenotype and the genotype, but if you don't have the culture, you ain't one of us.
Yeah, sure, totally. And I guess, yeah, so it's possible to be black and not African. So if it's possible to be,
No, I
uh-huh.
think I think you're missing the point. But it is possible to have a black phenotype and not be African. It's possible, but we don't call those people black. We call them indigenous.
So
Those are
what's
the
Afro?
What
What's
about,
Afro?
Okay.
What's Afro in Afro Latino? What's Afro?
Yeah, but he said earlier that when you are away from
Said
Africa
Afro
for a certain
Latino.
amount of
I
time,
thought
you're no longer
Afro is
African.
African. So how can you ask African is not African? Because
Yeah,
I
that's
thought
just I'm
Afro
saying that's
it's
just a name though.
But I
That's
also gave a
but
parameter. I also gave a
thank you.
because
parameter for
Thank
he
you.
wouldn't
nationality.
call
Thank you.
white people
Thank
African
you.
because all I came from
Thank you,
Africa.
Brother Legend. I'm sorry I have to go, Brother Legend. I don't want to go with gymnastics.
All
I'm
right,
sorry,
all right.
Afro.
We're doing
Brother
gymnastics now.
Legend, love you. Love you.
Yes, love
Thank
you
you
too,
so much.
brother.
So
Amala.
why does this blackness thing matter so much to you? I'm living my life just fine, right?
Okay, yeah, you only care about yourself. We know. It's okay. Everyone
Well,
doesn't have
so
to
do
think
you
like
too,
you.
you know. You care about yourself. You care about, how much food you're eating and the house that you have and how much money you're making. Yeah, you do.
All right.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be alive. You care about
No,
yourself too.
no. I
So,
care about my community.
but
I,
you mentioned
I
how
would
you don't care
sacrifice
about when you're
myself
eating,
for my
right?
community, and I do that every day. You don't know who you're talking to. You don't know the
But
work I put in.
so when you're saying you care about yourself, right? You
I've
do take care of
sacrificed my own
yourself.
self-interest time and time again for things that are better for my community that they need me to build because I'm the only one with the vision to build it.
I mean,
So
there's still a limit to what you'd sacrifice. You wouldn't sacrifice everything.
Can I ask double a
anything
question?
that nothing I sacrifice what anything even if I were to be selfish, right, and only care about my family, right? My family's still a black family in the black community. There's
My
no
family's
way
black
I
too.
can do anything for myself that would not be a benefit to the black community. Now, if you decided to only care about you, or maybe let's say if I cared only about my wife and just did something selfish for my wife, and it didn't been it wasn't directly tied to the community. My wife is a black woman, so that in itself would be a domino effect in benefiting the black community because she's part of the black community. If you did something selfish with your non-black wife, that would not benefit the black community. That would probably be of a benefit to her community, if anything. But that is where you lose us with the pro-black thing.
Well,
Phoenix,
the
what's
problem,
going on?
I would actually argue that Colombians here are
Hold
much
on. We
poorer
gotta
than
we gotta let
African
someone else talk to.
Americans.
All right, go ahead, Phoenix.
Okay. Thank you, Brother Legend, for allowing me onto your platform. I really appreciate you and what you're doing and what you're providing for our community.
Thank
I
you,
had a
sis.
couple questions. No problem, brother. I had a couple questions for the double, because I,
Yep.
like you said, I think it's missing you a little bit, baby. So you asked a question earlier. What about mixed people, right? And I'm gonna simplify this for you real easy. If you put white milk and chocolate milk in the same glass, you're gonna end up with what?
This is chocolate. This is kind of silly, but
No, I mean it's very simple. It may be silly, but the analogy
do
is
you remember
simple.
the
It's
question I
it's
asked
yeah, I
specifically
remember.
about mixed
I'm
people?
just trying to get you to answer this particular question. If
Yeah,
you put
it's a silly
choc
question. Like
okay,
that's
so
not.
can you
It was
answer
a
the
silly
question?
thing for you to refute, to
I
be
don't like
honest.
to
That's
answer
why
dumb questions. Like
now
Okay,
very
but
you
it's
honest.
you
but
asked a dumb question. So now
you did.
let's respond.
I mean, that's dumber than anything I've ever
Okay,
asked.
but
Like,
can
No,
you
it's
to be
not.
answer?
honest.
But you making it seem like you can't answer the question. So what is the answer to the question? Since it's so stupid, and you have the answer, just answer the question.
I mean, you tell me it's a dumb question. We all know the
No,
answer.
sweetie, you're the one. You're the one. You were the one.
I'm gonna let you answer it.
Okay, I'm
Going
So,
to
going to answer it
disrespect a
for you.
black woman's line of questioning. That's one thing that we're not going to do. So
Thank
you're
you.
going to show respect for the queen, and that's what you're going to do. You're going to show respect for the panel. You're going to show respect for the host and show respect for the queen. You can engage in asking a conversation, but insulting someone for simply asking you a question when you have been saying the most problematic things the entire live, that is in and of itself you trying to police people that you legit cannot and have no high ground to be able to police.
oh, you
Just
straw
answer the
man me
question.
multiple times. You didn't even know what I said to
Don't
the
be
vocals.
disrespectful. Engage in civil behavior and answer the question respectfully.
I already gave my answer. I told her I already know what it does. It's a dumb question, but go ahead. Like,
It's
say
not
the
a, again,
Just
like I
answer
just
the
said.
question though. Like stop giving us your analysis of the question. What happens when you pour chocolate milk into regular white milk? What happens?
I think everyone knows.
Say
That's
it,
it. This is really dumb.
but say the answer.
Why you didn't answer many of my questions?
I answered all of your questions. I'm
Can I
tired
tell
of
you which
answering your
answers you
questions.
didn't answer? Can I
I,
tell you what questions you didn't answer?
no, you can answer this dumb
Because you
question
didn't answer
because
one
it's so
specific
dumb.
question. I
You
specifically.
haven't answered one of my questions.
Oh
Name
yeah,
one
like
question of mine that
oh
you
she
answered.
left. So like I answered. What question did I not answer?
The
Besides the
one
one
we're
that
asking you
you're.
right
I'm
now.
asking you the first question. I've answered your other questions.
So you're lying
If you
to
want to
me. You
say
said that I haven't answered.
even if you want to say I never answered one of your questions, I've answered other questions. Answer this one question.
It makes cocoa milk.
All right. I never heard it called cocoa milk, but okay. That's what you call it and where you from, then cool. So
I
with
mean, like
cocoa
it's a
milk,
dumb question.
all right.
Why are we? Why are you dying on this point?
It's wild how you're being so petty about it. You can
But
keep
you're
answering
dying
that.
on this
We're
point
gonna
that
move
it's like a
on. We're gonna move
non-question.
on. I'm not gonna keep talking about this question. So she just explained to you how mixed race children are still have the ingredients it takes to be cocoa milk. The only thing is, sometimes that white milk is a little strong, and they decide themselves to be an adversary to the community and do not do what I said earlier and reject white supremacy, but instead embrace their white identity. And that becomes problematic for them. According to psychologists, that becomes problematic for their mental health. They're more likely to unalive themselves if they don't have a positive association with their blackness. They're more unlikely to self-delete. But it also becomes a problem because they feel like they're just not white enough for the white people and they're just not black enough for the black people. So they fall somewhere in the middle, and that black side is just holding them back from being fully able to identify with their white mother. And then they go out into the world, and the world will treat them as black, and they'll say, dang, I was this close to being white, but they treat me like I'm black. And they start to only view blackness in terms of mistreatment. And they come up and they do that constantly on my lives. I've been doing this for a year and a half, almost every day. People come up here, and almost every time as a biracial person, they start saying, I'm black too because I'm mistreated like you guys. And I'm pro-black because I'm against mistreatment. Meghan Markle said she didn't know she was black until the royal family started treating her like she was an N-word. Like, that's how they view blackness, as mistreatment. They view negative treatment as blackness, and that's a negative view of black people that turns into self-hatred, because if you look at blackness only through mistreatment, you start to blame blackness for the reason you're mistreated. You're going to start to look at black people as people that are the reason. You'll start to look at black people with resentment. That's the word I'm looking for, with resentment. And so that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just it becomes worse and worse over time. So when they reject their Africanity, we reject them. That is how it has been since
I mean, I don't really see any consequence to that, right? Someone said that, oh, he's a coon in the comics. I'm like, at least I'm getting coon money. Like, hey, I'm taking care of myself, my family, it got a good life. I just don't
You're
see a
right,
problem.
sir. You are getting COON money, but we don't say that word on here. So bye.
Also, and just because you proclaim yourself to be that doesn't mean that people who are not that don't make money or more money than you do. So we got to
Yeah.
stop giving into that nature that white money is the best money, or the money you're making like our fellow Caucasians is better than the money we're making now. There are doctors, lawyers who don't participate in any of that and still making more money than you, sir. I mean, you're on TikTok trying to get us to understand why it is you choose to think the way you do. And in all actuality and honesty, we do not care. We're just here to educate you on the simple fact that he's not understanding that what you as an individual, sir, may not affect our community. But the more we decide to think like that and do that and go about that way, you know what I'm saying, it does begin to affect our community. So you don't have to get up here defending you dating a white woman or wanting to be with white women or any of that. If you're okay with the skin that you're in and you're doing what you're doing and you're okay with that, then be okay with that. But don't come on here and try to misconstrue the live and make it seem like we're just anti-white when we're just more pro-black. It don't
Right.
have nothing to do with being anti-white or
Right.
down in white people. It's not about that. I mean, they have done that for years and we could have been got our get back. It's not about that. Obviously, when we band together, we shake nations, you know, so it's not about that. It's simply about him understanding that when he becomes grown, because I don't think he's all the way there, but when he do grow up and he marries off to his lady, and when he die, all his money go right back into that environment. None of it goes back to our children. None of it goes back to our education systems. None of it goes back to our culture. Your black mother, your black sister, sir, your black auntie, sir, the people who in your family, sir, it don't go back to them. It's gonna go to her folks. And sometimes we have to stop thinking because we grew up on one side, because that's probably what it was. He probably grew up in that neighborhood, you know, with them. You know what I'm saying? Like he gives that, baby. He giving. I grew up around them. I know them. I've seen them. They've always done right by me, and that's cool and great.
They give me sleep.
That's he's giving, you know, Carlton. He's giving Carlton energy. But we know Hillary Banks over here, baby. You know, so we will place deposits, you understand? So yeah, I mean, he really does. He sounds like a child who grew up in the suburbs, who family lived well off, which I'm not downing. I love it when black people can make it in arenas and areas that we're not really always invited into, but we have to start making our own arenas where we feel comfortable. Because I'm tired of us, you know, like wanting to be a part of that. Let's make our own.
That's so wild that you even say that, because that's what our nonprofit B1 initiative is doing. We're empowering the African diaspora through technology. A lot of brothers and sisters, we see news about tech and all this other stuff. We don't understand that there's not many of us doing that. There's not many of us innovating tech. It's really
I agree.
And so what we're doing is we're taking tech resources and building them for our own people. Like we're not building it for them, but we are in their space building for ourselves. Like,
absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm absolutely in agreement with that. We do need to you know, and it's wild because my friend Chef Kwame, he's like the #1 chef in America right now. He's got
that's beautiful.
He's got a restaurant in New York, but he said basically if you want to do something great for your people, all you got to do is look at what white people doing and just be black and do the same thing.
That's it, because our dollar literally rules. Like, if black people looked at the spending power that we really have, if you have something that you produce, sell it to your people. We will buy. There are black supporters who support black people and black businesses. So if y'all got black businesses in y'all areas, you know, support those black businesses. And I'm not saying every black business, because we all had our experiences. We all know sometimes we can we could be a little shady. So, I mean, you know, but the ones that got great reviews and do good business, y'all go support those businesses. Put your dollars in those pockets and recirculate it, because without us, this whole system will crash. Without us. I mean, you cannot live today without a black invention. Today, to this day, you cannot live your regular life without us. So I think it's just super important, and I'm really happy that you are doing what you're doing. You get on here, I see you sometimes I just sit back and watch. But today, dude just had me steaming Willie beaming. I just had to, you know, because he was trying to really gaslight, and it agitated me, because I was I was like, oh no, this brother really is trying to do something beneficial and positive, and here we go with the negativity, and I just cannot stand it. When we see each other doing something beautiful and positive, let's stay on it. If you don't have nothing positive to say, you ain't got to explain yourself. Keep scrolling. It's not hard. It's not hard. So I really do appreciate you. But I got locks too. You hear me? We out here being real spiritual with the locks,
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I appreciate what you're doing, and I'm a put myself on mute and let somebody else jump up or talk. But I appreciate it because you don't see a lot of it. There's a lot of, right now I scroll through TikTok and I see maybe about 10 lives about P. Diddy. Right. And I was just like, what does because he ain't never did nothing for the community. Like, what do we care if this fool get locked up? What do we care?
That's what I was saying yesterday.
Why do we care so much? And I'm a Scorpio, and so it's really making me mad because he just out here making us look real bad right now. But I'm like, seriously, there are so many more pressing issues they can decide in Congress to ban TikTok, but they can't decide on women's health care. They can't decide on things that are going to make our communities better. They can't decide on stuff that actually matters. But things like this, where we have platforms to speak freely amongst each other and actually give each other information that we did not have at one point, they want to shut this down. And that's crazy to me. That's so crazy to me. Like, wild. So I'm gonna be quiet and sit back, and I'm gonna let you continue to discuss because I didn't have anything to say about the interracial thing.
I got a feeling I know where you stand already.
Oh man, you know what? I'm $100,000. So like I don't get a chance to come on live often, but when I do, I have something positive to say. I'm just trying to make sure I put my presence and my footprints out there because our lives matter.
That's right. Absolutely. Thank you, Queen. One love.
No problem. I'm going to mute.
All right.
Speaking of platforms, like to interject, just in case they do, take this down, I launched a channel on Roku, so I am extending content creators to create their own platform on Roku. So holla at me.
You said you got a channel on Roku? You said you
I
lost?
sure enough do. Soul Network Incorporated.
This is the brother I was telling you about in the meeting by Legend.
So then why he not in our meeting?
Yeah, I was.
You need to be at the meeting.
Exactly. That's what I was saying.
That's wild. Yeah, we need you at the meeting, brother. Yeah.
When the next meeting, I'll be happy to join.
Yeah, we in there Sundays, every Sunday at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern. We have meetings in our Discord.
Okay, bet. I'm on Discord.
Yeah, so we do everything in there. We've got Sankofapedia, the project that we're building right now. It's basically like a Black Wikipedia.
Nice.
Except it's from an Afrocentric perspective. So when I say Afrocentric, a lot of times people think I mean it's just full with Black people only, and that's not the case. It's Afrocentric.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So that means it's going to have Yankees in there, but when we talk about them, we're going to talk about them from an African perspective, meaning an African-centered perspective, meaning if we talk about George Washington, we're going to talk about him from the perspective of how he participated in chattel slavery and how some of the policies he endorsed and things that he did to affect African descendants. So
I need that on the network. That's a whole show right there.
There's going to be a lot of content because the thing about the website is it links every person that we talk about to another profile, so you can see a chart showing the links, and you can go on there and you will learn something about someone. You'll go on. I just found out that Chaka Khan was a Panther since she was 16 years old. She was a Black Panther. Yeah, she went to a Yoruba naming ceremony and got her name Chaka Khan. Before that, she was Yvette Stevens. So things like that. Like, there's nothing but facts over there. So I think it's going to be great for content. I think it's going to be a great resource for us as adults, but specifically it'll be fun for our children. And I'm doing things to make it more fun we're going to make video games We got one brother in there that codes video games. And my wife is thinking of making, you know how that book, did you see that book, Stay Away from Sneaky Snow Bunnies?
Yeah, I saw that.
Imagine a show with that amount of being unapologetic, but simply for children, just to learn some pride in themselves. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Just that apologeticness. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like you don't gotta tell the children, what the bunnies, like, you gonna tell them what the bunnies represent, but you can make it almost subliminal to where, you'll watch a show, right? And there's a not if they're like there's a pink hero like Peppa Pig, right? Peppa Pig is the main character. And then you'll see the bad guy is like colored green or purple. The pink one, the one that, is got the British accent is the good character, but the bear is a bad character. Like Snow White in the Three Bears. That's racist. You see what I'm saying? It's not, but in the subconscious of a child, I look more like a bear than Snow White. I mean, not Snow White. What's the girl's name? What's the name in the Three Bears? I forgot the name.
Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, yeah. So you see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, it's Goldilocks.
Goldilocks. Okay.
Sorry, I'm a girl, so I had to get y'all together.
but that is the point. Goldilocks. I don't got gold locks. You see what I'm saying?
Thanks.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Snow White. That's another one. Is her mother, the villain, was purple. Like, you see what I'm saying? So this type of subliminal messaging, even if the topic is not about race for the children, you could show them, I don't want to say you have to use a bear, but if it's a main character, why not have a black colored, color black main character, a black little panther or something, even if it's a made up, a creature, just it's black colored, and the white colored ones are the bad guys, and it don't gotta be nothing about race, but for some reason the white with swiper no swiping little white little thing come up and swipe from the. You see what I'm saying? It could be these fun things for children. Why don't we have that? You know what I'm saying? So
I don't think anybody thought that far I'm glad no problem. I'm glad we're having these discussions. I think that's the purpose and reason for these discussions now, so that we can, because there's people on your live that's listening and who have those skills and knowledge to be able to do that and make those type of children books, who enjoy that type of stuff. So I think just speaking on it in general, putting it out there, is going to manifest it.
yeah,
Now that we're talking about it, because I don't think there's anything we really set up and talked about. Why don't we do that for our children? Because they need that. We're the first teachers, so we should definitely do that.
Yeah. So that's just some ideas I've had, but we could also do some lives, some shows. We wanted to do like a news organization at one point. We're gonna have so many facts on Sankofapedia. It's gonna be an endless stream of creativity and content. So come join the meeting, brother. We could talk about it some more there.
I definitely am. That's dope.
Absolutely. Well, appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, and yeah. So Timothy, can you make sure he gets in there? Make sure he get in there.
As soon as I see the invite, he's about to get expeditious acceptance.
Timothy's one of our board of director members, so he's helping run the whole thing. But yeah, what's going on, y'all? Anybody else want to come up and answer some questions? Let me know. We got Go ahead, sister.
Well, I did have a question for you. Do you have like a podcast that you do at all?
This is the closest I've got to a podcast.
Okay.
Going live. I'm eventually going to be going live on YouTube, but
Okay.
I gotta get 1,000 subscribers, or else they're going to cap who can join my live at 25 people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I got to get to 1,000 so that I can have as many people in there as I need. So right now, nah, I don't go live. But I mean, I don't have a podcast, but I would say it's in the works. I've got all these replays. Every live I've ever done, I have a replay. We posted on YouTube, and that's got us. I think we have like 550. We need to get to 1,000 subscribers. So
Okay, cool. Can you drop your information in the live for me so me and whoever else needs to? Sorry about my background noise. My husband just got home, but
yeah, that's me all
but
day.
but yeah, can you drop that information down so I can subscribe
Okay.
on
Yeah.
YouTube and whoever else is in live, so they can subscribe as well, so we can get your views up so that you are able to do that, because like I said, that I mean, it's super important that we have these discussions and for you to have a platform like that, and we make it as big as possible, so we can bring other people who think like we do on and
Right.
have these discussions and spread this information.
Yeah, absolutely. I put it in the chat. It's the same on all platforms. I kept it continuous continuity. BIGBROLGND. It was really my producer name when I was making beats. But yeah, I just kept it BIGBROLGND. If you Google me, you might find some music that I made. Don't judge me, y'all. That's my past life.
What you doing with it?
What happened?
What you doing with it?
Man, I'll be wondering, because I got songs that if I leaked it right now, it might be on TMZ on my hard drive. But I'd never
Well, we gotta do something with that, bro.
I'll be thinking that. I mean, I got thousands of beats. I worked in the music industry for 10 years.
I got a label.
Oh yeah, you do? Okay. Well, listen, man, I got beats. I haven't been focused on music lately because the situation with Pop Smoke kind of like left a sour like taste in my mouth. That's a situation I was kind of close to and like more than kinda, but it kind of showed me how making black men unaliving music could lead to a black man being unalived. And I just felt like I had too much of a hand in that, just as a producer. And somebody said, "Was it Diddy? You need to stop."
I'm going in a different direction. So yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Nah, but I feel you.
After that, I started making like Afro beats. Shoot, I even tried gospel for a little bit. I was just like, yo, I gotta do something. I started making movie music, and then that's when I met the real Yankees. Because when you try to make movie music, they will tell you how to make the music. So they start telling you, yeah, more happier, brighter music. It's your music is a little urban. It's a little too urban. So that's when I started losing it, because now white T men that tap their foot and call it dancing are going to start telling me how to make music. Something that's an art form my people, in all genres created. So that's when so it was either make music detrimental to your own men, of men like yourself, or do what master tell you to do. And I got hit with those two options. I didn't see a way around it. I started seeing a lot of other funny stuff, and we could talk about that, privately. I've seen a lot of funny stuff. So yeah, that's the thing about this platform is I have a lot of integrity with it, because this is what I decided to do with my life. Despite any money coming in, I'm not doing this for any capitalistic gain. I'm only focused on Pan-African values, empowering the community, building with Black people. And so I would love to make music that, like I said earlier about the children, same type of subliminal messaging. Erica Badu, Jill Scott, Music Soul Child, like love music. I would love to get into that. I would love to get into. It don't even have to sound like that.
Well, you
But
could produce for me, bro, because I
you know
know
what I'm saying?
that's all the type of music I'm trying to make, and we're gonna
You know
need
what I'm
music
saying?
for the network. You know what I'm saying? People that got shows. So
Oh yeah, I could do that all day. I could do that all day. I play all instruments. Yeah. So I just been kind of, and that's kind of been what I've been telling people too. I got friends that hit me up. Hey man, send me beats. I'll be like, I'll do it, but I kind of only want to make music with people or just the kind of music that I can put on my platform that is not like, I have a lot of integrity on this platform. Like, You know what I'm saying? I'm very anti-capitalist, anti any black celebrity. Listen, that's why I don't care about Diddy. Like, I look at Diddy the same way I look at Jonathan Majors. Like, you know what I'm saying? All these people have done nothing for our community, and they've took money from people that exploit our community. They themselves have profited off that exploitation. So what happens to them after they cross that line, to me, I don't got nothing to do with it. But I would love to make some Pan-African propaganda in the form of music, Pan-African propaganda in the form of children's shows, shows for adults, Pan-African propaganda. That's what Marcus
Whole
Garvey.
channel dedicated to the diaspora. So let's work.
You see, there we go. There we go. Now we talking. Now we talking. Absolutely. I love that. Yeah, that's what Marcus Garvey was all about. The Negro World newspaper that he put out. That was Pan-African propaganda to unite us. I think that's what we need, because we've already been indoctrinated. We've already been propagandized. So now we got to propagandize black people back into
Exactly.
being African. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I appreciate y'all. I'm about to step down. D, I see you coming up here. I'm about to get down. Oh man, you had to follow me again because they blocked me. Yo, that's wild. Yo, D, man, you gotta talk to your moderators, man. You had to follow me. I just followed you back. I listen, man. Listen, man. That's wild. Somebody blocked me on D's live. Yeah, we gotta talk, cause listen, man. But I got nothing but love for you, D. You know that. You know that. And yeah. I didn't take none of that personally. You know that. But I appreciate everybody. I got patience for black people. So, you know what I'm saying? I got patience with black people. I understand that some of us don't get it. That brother that was just up here just now, he ain't get it. You know what I'm saying? But we can have patience with him. We can have patience with him. But it's all right.
Yeah, we need to have that meeting like we talked about, man. That meeting. Yeah.
You talking about the meeting with the brother that just left?
Oh, well, I mean that too. Yeah, absolutely. But also the other meeting where like just kind of going over everything.
Yeah.
'Cause,
All right. We can have it now.
you want to have it public or
No,
Discord?
not in public. No, not in
Oh,
public.
okay.
We love y'all in
Yeah,
public too. Appreciate you, Gene Day. We don't want to make in-house discussions private unless it don't work in-house. You know what I'm saying? It got to work in-house. Like, first you come as a collective and you discuss things. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know
so
what
I
I'm
was
saying?
surprised. I was just like, wait, right now? Like now? Like, hold on. Let me. Let's.
You start putting everything on Front Street. You start sounding like Kanye, man. That's why he's so wishy-washy. Put everything on Front Street. Weirdo. But yeah, all right. Yeah, we're talking in the Discord.
All right, gotcha.
I'm about to go there now. All right.
Meet you there.
All right.